Welcome to HI Consulting, your trusted source for automotive industry updates. Today, we're diving into several revision drafts and promulgations that are shaping the future of transportation. Let's explore these key updates in detail. Firstly, the revision draft of KMVSS aims to expand the application scope of autonomous emergency braking systems to passenger cars while aligning with international standards. Now, let's explore the detailed requirements outlined in this draft. The revision draft proposes an expansion of the application scope for AEBS installation to passenger cars. The draft harmonizes with the amendment to UN Regulation 152, presenting a two-step approach for the requirements of car-to-car tests and car-to-vulnerable road user scenarios. These adjustments ensure consistency with international safety standards. Annex 7-9 outlines the detailed requirements for AEBS installation for passenger cars and trucks, special-purpose vehicles with a gross vehicle weight of not more than 3.5 tons. The AEBS is required to detect potential forward collisions with cars, pedestrians, or bicycles. It should provide the driver with appropriate warnings during the collision warning phase and activate the braking system during the emergency braking phase. For car-to-car scenarios, Requirement 1 and Requirement 2 specify the maximum relative impact speed. These requirements apply to both stationary and moving vehicles. For car-to-pedestrian scenarios, Requirement 1, which is applicable only if an AEBS is fitted, and Requirement 2, which is stricter than Requirement 1, outline the maximum relative impact speed. For car-to-bicycle scenarios, specific requirements are outlined for the maximum relative impact speed. Moving on to the Act on Chemical Substances Registration and Evaluation, unregistered chemicals should not be manufactured, imported, used, or sold. If failing to meet the requirement, manufacturers or importers may be ordered to suspend the manufacture, import, usage, or sale of unregistered chemicals or collect them. However, concerns were raised that under the previous Act, downstream users or sellers are not subject to this penalty. So, this revision expands the application scope to downstream users or sellers and specifies the penalty accordingly. In line with the promulgation of the Act on Chemical Substances Registration and Evaluation, the revision drafts of Enforcement Decree and Enforcement Rule of the same Act streamline the registration procedure for chemical substances. Notable improvements include exemptions for polymer data submission, streamlining of registration data submission, and additional requirements for nanomaterials. In the revision draft of Enforcement Decree and Enforcement Rule of MVMA, provisions are introduced to grant temporary driving permits for vehicles used in sales promotion. Additionally, procedures are simplified by abolishing the requirement for submitting vehicle registration certificates during inspections, minimizing public inconvenience. More specifically, anyone willing to drive a vehicle temporarily without registering it should obtain a temporary driving permit. Under the current laws, the temporary driving permit is not granted to a vehicle used for sales promotion. However, under this revision draft, anyone who manufactures, assembles, or imports vehicles may obtain a temporary driving permit for a period not exceeding 40 days if willing to use a vehicle for sales promotion purposes, including advertising and promotional photography for new vehicles. This is expected to relieve the time and cost burden on the industry. The revision draft of KMVSS-TP addresses the revisions to rear pedestrian safety devices, with changes to the approach warning sound system and adjustments to the rear camera monitor system. These revisions aim to enhance safety standards in vehicles, particularly for pedestrian protection. Lastly, the revision draft of regulations for evaluation for the subjects to supply of electric vehicles introduces several important agendas aimed at enhancing the subsidy requirements for electric vehicles. These include specifications for cold temperature driving range, unification of quick charging methods, addition of noise certification, and provisions for retesting if necessary. Thank you for watching. For more information, visit us at hiconsulting.co.kr or email us at hskim@hiconsulting.co.kr.